Well, joining us on the phone line is the SACP spokesperson, Mr. Alex Mashilo. Alex, thank you so much for joining us right on 897's Express Lunch. Now, just talk us through your reason behind throwing your weight behind the call of ABSA having to pay back the money.
Firstly, let us note with concern the leakage of the report of the public protector as allegedly leaked. And this has got to be looked into and investigated, and whoever leaks the report has to be held accountable. But be that as it may, it is very important that we go back to where we come from as a country. And the current democratic dispensation started in 1994 after a negotiated process. There is no doubt that the class forces of apartheid may have committed javelin so that come democratic transition they will be able to share whatever wealth they gathered through javelin.
Yeah.
The allegations made against ABSA in this instance are very, very, very serious. Public finances, including state finances, belong to the people as a whole. Wherever these finances were used for private purposes with the commitment that they will be paid back, the money must be paid back, and it must be paid back with interest and be deployed to assist our developmental agenda as a country.
And now, perhaps, what's your take on having ABSA to actually refund the money, and what do you cite the money be used for?
ABSA must pay back the money, but it must also pay back the money with interest. And the money must be used for developmental purposes. The National Treasury has to make an assessment of where the money can best be utilized, given the number of priorities that we have to satisfy as a nation. And of course, this involves consultation with Parliament. It requires budget speech processes. But the process must not end there. This report should serve as a basis to conduct a wider investigation into apartheid state looting and recovery of all the money plus interest going beyond ABSA.
And now, lastly, before I let you go, now, what would you say needs to be done to actually ensure that a thorough investigation is done in regards with this matter?
Definitely, the leaked report highlights a number of concerns, but the most important concern is that state finances were used to bail out a private entity that never paid back the money. So the money has to be paid back, and it has to be paid back with interest. So this must be taken as a tip in the as a tip of the iceberg, and a wider investigation be conducted, because there might be other people languishing outside there and enjoying public finances without paying back and condemning inequality, whereas in fact they benefited from apartheid bailout and apartheid funding.
Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us right here at 897, and thank you so much for your time. That was Mr. Alex Mashilo, SACP spokesperson, just speaking more on the growing calls for ABSA to pay back the money after the public protector's leaked preliminary report on alleged undue benefits the bank received during the apartheid government.